Hey, Kyle here. This is going to be a very special review. This is going to be my only review for maybe until about Tuesday, because my mom and dad are going somewhere and they're taking the camera. So I won't be able to do any kind of reviews. So I'm doing a review now. This is going to be a special 3-part review. I got the Transformer today. Today, on the 18th, it's not my birthday. We were just celebrating the birthday today. My birthday is tomorrow on June 19th. And I didn't get very much, but I did get some new Transformers. And as per the title, I'm going to be doing the story portion of Jetfire and Jetstorm, because I got something with the figure. It's really cool. I got a comic book called The Rise of Safeguard. Now apparently, Sentinel Prime, mentioned in the series when Jetfire and Jetstorm are confused mistaken for Decepticons when they get attacked. And the story behind all that, about how they became the first flying Autobots, was there was a project. It was called Project Safeguard, sort of like Project Omega. It was to create the first flying Autobots, because Autobots don't fly. They're cars. Decepticons are the ones that all fly. But apparently there's some Decepticons that are cars, like Strika. But of course some Autobots are Decepticons. Well, turned into Decepticons, you know. Apparently, when the Elite Guard captured Starscream, they basically took some of his Decepticon code, and they planned on using it on Project Safeguard. Ultra Magnus decides to resurrect the Project Safeguard since they had the stroke of luck and got Starscream's Decepticon codes. So they needed volunteers. And currently they weren't finding any. And then these two Autobot twins. Apparently, the reason that they're twins is twins are actually very rare with Autobots, because they are identical. No Autobot is really identical except for these two. Apparently in the comic it says that there's a rare anomaly with protoforms that they would tend to split into two. They would basically split apart while they were being created, and you get two identical Transformers. And that's the same case with these two. And that's probably why they were able to combine in such a manner. Because Ultra Magnus wasn't actually planning on making them a Gestalt. They actually use the word Gestalt in this, a Gestalt combiner. I think that's a combining term for it. And apparently they're actually Energon farmers, I think. They basically look like the same protoforms as Bumblebee. These two. They're just basic little cars. It's just like Bumblebee and Wasp and Cliffjumper. There was this big accident. I think they were repairing this Energon line or something, and then Jetfire was showing off. He's like, haha, look what I can do, and Jetstorm was like, we're Decepticon farmers, not... why am I saying Decepticon? Autobot Energon farmers. If I've said a Decepticon before, I'm sorry. It's just because I got a long arm prime Shockwave. I'm a little confused with that now. But as I was saying, they're Energon farmers, and they were repairing this Energon line. I think that's what they were repairing. It was an Energon fuel line. And then all of a sudden, the pipe's huge. The pipe basically breaks, and then they get destroyed. They're basically in a mangled mess. And Perceptor's like, we just got our volunteers. Because they needed to be repaired, right? So they're like, let's experiment with them instead. So they basically reconfigure them with the state-of-the-art Autobot engineering, and they put in the Decepticon codes to basically activate them. And they say that there's a chance of them wanting to destroy every Autobot in sight. But that wasn't the case, because I think that they reconfigured the code and all that to make it Autobot friendly. And they wake up, and this guy and Jetfire basically says how ugly Jetstorm is. They're basically insulting each other at that point, and they're fighting and wrestling and all that. And Sentinel Prime is assigned to be their drill sergeant, and then they get thrown into a simulator to train them, right? So they're pretty much dominating. They're just dominating everything that the Sentinel Prime, Perceptor, and Ultra Magnus can throw at them. So they have some spare Decepticon code, and they put that in the simulator. And then a virtual Starscream comes up and beats the crap out of them. And then Starscream's code takes over the simulator, and they can't get them out. So they have to fight them in the simulator and kick his ass in order to get out. And then all of a sudden, Jetfire combusts into flames, and they discover that Jetfire and Jetstorm have basically elemental abilities, like fire and air, basically, or storms. I'm just saying air because that's a generic name for it. So he basically turns into a giant fireball in the simulator, and Perceptor's all like, "Oh, that's just in the simulator. He's not doing it in reality." But he's on fire while he's in the simulator harness. And then he uses his power to cancel out his fire and basically saves his life. Then all of a sudden, they're basically on their asses and they're like, "Let's combine!" And then they combine and they kick Starscream's ass and they get out of the simulator in one piece. And then they mention, basically Sentinel Prime tells them about, I think it was Sentinel Prime. Nope, it was Ultra Magnus, but they use the name Waspinator in this. They use the name Waspinator, which I don't care either way. He's pretty much Waspinator. But then they get sent out to capture him, and they're basically, what is the term for it? As Elite Guard junior officers. They're officers, but they're junior officers, so they're just below a normal officer or a senior officer. And then the episode Where Is Thy Sting starts. I like these guys. I'm just gonna go over their robot mode a little bit, and there's pretty much no gripe except for the hands. The hands are fairly shoddy. I still like it. I still like the figures overall. There's no real problems with them. This is going to be a 3-part review. Right now I'm just going over the story. The next one I'm going to be doing the individual transformations. I'm probably just going to do this guy. I'm not going to transform them both. And then I'm going to do the combination. This is Kyle X Pie 665 signing out with part 1 of 3 of Jetfire Jetstorm Safeguard. I will start uploading this and start doing my other part 2. Bye bye.